Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.
I want to welcome our new sponsor, Audible. I've been listening to audiobooks from them for over 5 years now. I am a huge Audible fan. In fact, I've bought multiple platinum memberships. Platinum membership, you buy 25 audiobooks at a time. I just got done listening to the first 3 or 4 books of the Jack Reacher series, the one you probably saw, or maybe you didn't, in the theater, Tom Cruise movie. I mean, just a wonderful book, wonderful series, expertly narrated, and so many times I'm in the car, I get sick of listening to music or news or the radio. I just put my iPod on, plays the book, and makes that trip go by so quickly. To me, this is one of the great things of the information revolution of the internet, is that you can get over 100,000 books on your iPad or iPod or iPhone instantly. Another thing that they have is courses on Audible, the Modern Scholar series. And I've listened to lectures about World War I, Shakespeare, nanotechnology, detective novels. It's so enlightening. To me, Audible is a must-have killer app for the iPhone, the iPad, for my computer, wherever I am. I'm always downloading these books. Like I say, they're a sponsor, so check them out. They've got a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial membership. Just sign up at www.audiblepodcast.com/Lutz, L-U-T-Z. Again, audiblepodcast.com/Lutz. Sign up today. Like I say, this to me is a dream sponsor. These are exactly the types of things that I like to pass on to you because I'm such a fanatical, over-the-top Audible user. 5-6 years I've been listening, hundreds of books. I used to think I was a well-read person, and it's a little strange when somebody asks you, did you read that book? And you have to say, well, somebody actually read it to me, but they actually did a better job than I could have, so I don't mind it. But my friend Sean Perger up in Vancouver, he listens to almost as many as I do, and he can't get enough. I know you're going to love this company, love their service. I do. So check them out. audiblepodcast.com/Lutz.
Hi, it's Kerry Lutz. I recently decided to move my retirement account into physical precious metals to hedge against the coming times. If you want to move an existing retirement account into physical precious metals that you can hold in your hand, tax-free, there's no company that can do it more quickly and efficiently than Regal Assets. It took them just 24 hours to open my new IRA account, and all I had to do was fill out one simple form. The best part is that Regal Assets does all the work for you. They cover the setup and administrative costs for 2013. If you're interested in making the same move I did, call 855-678-6620, 855-678-6620. That's 855-678-6620, or visit them at regalassets.com. You'll be glad you did, and tell them Kerry sent you.
You are listening to the FinancialSurvivalNetwork.com. I'm Kerry Lutz on 1230 WBZT. And it's time for another Triple Lutz Report. This is episode 309. It is October 7th, 2013. And question for you. When is a governmental shutdown not a governmental shutdown? Well, the obvious answer is when it happens in the United States, of course. Somewhere between 80 to 85% of the government is still carrying on as if nothing happened. And just the other day, our erstwhile Secretary of Defense, Chuck Hagel, ordered 400,000 citizens, civilians who work at the Pentagon back to work. So probably we're getting close to 90% of the government still working. You may be wondering, how is this possible? And if you turn on Fox News or CNN or any of the other talking heads, they're talking about nothing else but this so-called shutdown. And, don't get me wrong, but look, a 20% budget cut, it's actually been years since the Congress actually passed a budget, is a great place to start. But the House just unanimously passed a resolution saying that all of the federal employees who aren't getting paid or weren't going to get paid during the so-called shutdown are now going to get paid. So they're basically getting a paid vacation. Isn't that wonderful? Obviously, if you had a business and you had to shut down for a period of time and your employees didn't work during that period of time, you probably wouldn't be paying them. Only in that fantasy land called Washington, D.C., can they afford to pay all the employees whether they work or not. Normally they come to work, it's just paid leave anyway, because so many of them don't do anything other than make your life miserable. So they're going to spend the same amount of money whether the employees show up to work or not. And interestingly enough, the world hasn't stopped. Life is going on. So the cause of all this disruption is the fight over Obamacare. And Obamacare hasn't been stopped by the shutdown either. Interestingly enough, Obamacare is suffering from an epic failure to launch. We've stopped by the website many times just to see what's really going on. And from our online web experience, we can tell you that the thing every web marketer lives in fear of, be it Google, Facebook, eBay, or even the financial survival network.com, is a website malfunction. You see it all the time. You go onto the website, the thing doesn't come up, or you can't log on, you can't register. Every time a client unsuccessfully tries to register, this translates into lost sales. It is the bane of every website's existence. And every time yours truly tried to get onto the federal Obamacare site for Florida and other sites, we're talking New York, California, federal Obamacare site, which is healthcare.gov. Go check it out for yourself if you want. We get a message. We have a lot of visitors right now. Please stay on this page. One time, after waiting over 15 minutes, it gave us the opportunity to create an account. And we made 5 attempts, each one ending in failure. And believe me, didn't do anything wrong. We're experienced web users here. Some might even say power users. So if we can't do it, then how many less experienced people out there will be able to do it? We've read similar stories, heard similar stories on the radio, watched them on TV. We're not bragging here about our computer prowess, but understand that internet users are not known for their patience and their long attention spans. What we experienced is happening to millions of you across the nation. How many of you are going to come back and try again? How many of you are just going to call it quits, never to return again? No doubt a substantial number of you. Even New York's customs system has been experiencing similar problems. It's been down every evening that we looked for maintenance. And while it's possible to register in New York, once you perform this task, you're confronted with the following message. Due to overwhelming interest in New York's state of health, this is exact, I should have a sick next to it, the marketplace is currently experiencing a high volume of users. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause and encourage you to try again later. Sure thing. The government may have invented the internet, but it certainly had no role in its commercial success. This was left to the private
sector and the companies you know and love, such as Google, Facebook, Twitter. These companies excel at managing millions of users and providing excellent customer service most of the time. The government just doesn't have this ability and never will. At last count, Uncle Sam dumped over $4.4 billion to get these health insurance exchanges off the ground. Contrast this with Esurance, which spent just $5 million to create and implement a website that markets multiple lines, multiple types of insurance in all 50 states. They get millions of visits per month, and you will never encounter an error message, seldom ever. How can that be? Perhaps Esurance understands something that the government can't, that success or failure in the marketplace to a private business is really an existential event. Esurance.com knows that the price of failure for it is bankruptcy. When it comes to these utopian health insurance exchanges, failure means more government money being shoveled at the problem. Will these websites ever work? Maybe, but by then millions of people who were on the subsidy borderline, or the borderline of subsidy, the subsidy borderline panacea, will have moved on and gotten their health insurance elsewhere, which is why limited government isn't just some theoretical concept that looks good on paper. Obamacare is just the latest example that has proven the wisdom of the Founding Fathers and their quest for minimal interference in an individual's pursuit of happiness. So the next time that someone approaches you and wants to solve your problems or sell you a bridge, be on guard and be aware. That's it. This has been another Triple Lutz report. Kerry Lutz, signing off. Our friend Tom Dyson at the Palm Beach Letter is giving away free copies of a really cool report he put together called How to Protect Yourself from America's New Secret Police. Inside, you'll learn all sorts of simple, everyday tricks you can use to make yourself a little less visible and vulnerable to scammers, hackers, and even the federal government. For instance, inside Tom's report, you'll learn which free internet email service never to use. This company doesn't care if your account gets hacked or not, or things the government must tell you if they request your social security number, and how to spot skimmers lying in wait on ATMs and gas pumps, and much, much more. These tricks and secrets are low-hanging fruit ideas. You don't have to invest time or much money into them. Most are free. But by taking some basic measures, you can make your privacy much harder to invade than your neighbors. Tom's report is available for a limited time to listeners who take a trial subscription to his newsletter. Just visit the Financial Survival Network homepage for more information, or go to www.palmbeachletter2.com. That's www.palmbeachletter2.com.
The Financial Survival Network, helping you to survive and thrive in the new economy. Get our complimentary newsletter at financialsurvivalnetwork.com. This is the Financial Survival Network.